this is for exotics. And I got a question about how often I feed my tarantulas, and I'm going to keep this nice and quick for you. My bigger ones, the big terrestrial ones, not even the old world ones, if they're over 4 or 5 inches, they usually get fed once a month or once every 2 months, depending on the size of their rump. And a lot of my brachypelmas, excuse me, get fed around. I would say if they got a huge rump, I would say about once a month. I don't have any tarantulas that I would feed like every 2 months, except for maybe a couple of my big grandmastolas, like my grandmastola portery. Her rump never goes down. She really doesn't need to eat that much. So every 2 months. Now, if they're under that, I try to feed them every 2 weeks, just depending on the species. And I kind of look at them. Their rump, I feed them superworms. If you're feeding crickets, if I was only feeding them crickets, I would feed them every 2 weeks. No doubt about it. I don't care how big they are or how small they are. My leopard geckos are going crazy. They see me waving my hand around. I guess they think it's some worms or some shit. But yeah, if you're feeding crickets, I would say every 2 weeks, and give them a handful of 3 or 4 crickets, depending on the size. If you got like a 4 or 5 incher, give them 5, 6, 7 crickets if they're not gut loaded. I gut load my crickets. Gut loaded means you keep them and you feed them stuff, and then you feed them till you just don't come up from the store and just throw them right in. But I do superworms. I prefer Moria worms, so I will give them that, and they get full off that. If I give them 2 of those a month, every 2 months, 2 or 3 of them, they are full and they're happy, and they usually end up molting, going into pre-molt or something like that. So I don't get a chance to do it again anyway. Roaches, same deal. If I was feeding them roaches every couple of weeks. Once a month. Some roaches can get pretty big if you want to give them, it just depends. But I don't really feed my tarantulas crickets anymore unless it's a pokey or something and they are burrowed down and I can't get to them. Or like an OBT or something like that that's burrowing, and you just don't want to just drop a worm in there and hope that they got it. You want to throw the crickets in, so you come in next morning, you see the crickets are gone, she did her job. So that's kind of how I do it. I recommend you go check out other people's vids and talk to other people and see how they do it. But that's pretty much how I do it. Haven't had any issues with that at all. And if you got a little, tiny sling once a week, if you got something that's, half an inch, you need to feed that one every week. And maybe twice a week if you're feeding them crickets. And something that small, I do flightless fruit flies for anything that's like teeny tiny, half an incher, Flightless fruit flies is fine. You can buy a vial of that and keep that. I mean, you just toss a couple in there and they're good. Or you can get yourself some really tiny little crickets that throw in there once a week for something. If it's under an inch, once a week, easy, not even all day. So hope that helps you. And like I said, just monitor your animal. Look at them. Try to get to know how they feed. Because they're all different. So then that's the best way to know is just know your animal. So I'll see you in the next one. Hope you guys be safe. Be you, be genuine. See you in the next episode.